Hello and welcome back to the How I Ripped Off Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast. My name is Tim Thompson and I'm joined as always by MC.
That would be me.
And this is episode 25 of season 4 of Tomuarigassen. The end of season roundup. I forget how we did this last time, but yeah, we've done all the episodes of Tomuarigassen that exist in the world until I burn them when it's all done. And now we're just going to go through my notebook where I planned out all of the episodes and how they would fall and see what's going to happen for the end of season 4.
And obviously everyone listening is absolutely dying to know what amazing twists are going to come. How is this intricate plot going to be resolved?
Then I apologise now for all the disappointment coming your way. What's been happening though, MC? How's this season kind of been going? What's going on? Fill us in.
It's, like you said before, it's...
bollocks.
Yes. But also it hasn't had like a solid, coherent plot arc sort of thing to it. It hasn't been like, here is the villain, he's doing bad stuff. It's been like lots of little plots that sort of happen.
Yeah, I couldn't really pick a point from where we left off, where obviously Louise has come out of her coma, Jay's been offered a job by his dad, sort of being manipulated by his dad, MC got stabbed and is in a wheelchair.
But now he's fine.
And
or he's
fine.
like half an hour away from being fully healed.
And hates his baby.
Yeah.
Mrs. Lansbury is doing weird things.
Yeah.
So I taking it like that, it seems like we're heading towards maybe more of a poltergeist type thing with Mrs. Lansbury. But then there's still the threat that Tanis kind of headed off.
I literally forgot about
Apparently I had as well. So, I mean, it's not even like we saw him plotting or scheming or anything like that. So, yeah, I can see what I was trying to do throughout the season. I don't necessarily believe it was successfully done, because nothing in this show has ever been successfully done. But there was an attempt at something different. Because it's always been the same kind of format leading up to this as well. It's here's your antagonist, here's a couple of one-off episodes, and we'll slowly build up towards the big climax.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the ending of this is going to be. I have no idea, no memory of it or anything. So should we find out, MC?
Let's do that.
Let's get into it. Let's get into the end of season of Tomuarigassen, season 4. So the next episode, MC, is called Dead Lies. The lies of the dead.
I guess, like, the dead lie is in they are lying there.
Yeah.
And also lies. So there's a double meaning there. It's sort of like the level of clever I'd expect from a straight-to-DVD Steven Seagal film.
That's actually a big compliment for teenage me, so yeah. The gang re-enter the B&B late at night. They chat in the living area about things, allowing Louise to catch up with Jay and who sent the disease.
Wait, catch up with Jay?
I guess the issue with Jay or what's happened with Jay.
Sure,
I don't think I've
makes
just
sense.
completely negated that whole storyline.
Right. I would be curious to see, as MC, or Louise, is sometimes the sensible one of the group.
She's got a bigger hit ratio than most of the people.
Yeah. So I'd be curious to see what her reaction would be to MC going, I blame Jay for everything, so I kicked him out, and now we found out that it's not his fault in any way, but whatever.
Well, no, they don't think that, though, do they? They think Jay is solely to blame for some reason.
They thought he went in the interdimensional spaceship.
Yeah, it's really strange. But yeah, I mean, again, like something I said this when we were doing this format for Chip as well. It's like I had a lot of the episodes very clear in my head.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't need to write, and Louise is upset about this, or Louise agrees because I would have known.
Yeah.
But we don't have any indication of which way Louise would have gone.
Yeah.
And if she would have protested against that slightly because...
Yeah, I mean, Louise and Jay never got on. There was always that sort of...
Yeah.
Tension between them.
But they don't seem to be in a place where they were arguing as much as they used to be.
That's true.
Because that was a plot point at one point,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was their kind of disagreements.
Yeah.
And in a way, it would have been quite nice if it was Louise that went to bat for Jay in the end.
For sure.
But we don't know if that's going to be the case.
Sorry, Jay.
Babysitter finds the dead body. Oh, yeah, Mr. Hicks with his unassuming haircut.
Yeah. So he got possessed by Mrs. Lansbury and then killed some random guest.
Yes, sorry, yeah, you're right, actually. It's not... Mr. Hicks is still walking around.
Yeah.
But it's Mrs. Lansbury as Mr. Hicks. Why don't they have names? Why is it Mr. Hicks? It's like the fucking Mr. Men are going on over here. Little Miss will haunt you.
Mr. Unassuming Haircut.
Mr. will buy your pizza delivery company.
Mr. American Businessman.
Nice.
It was what it had on his card.
That would be what it is.
Card,
yeah, perfect. Babysitter finds a dead body. Gang sees it too and gather all the guests in the living area, locking down. Oh, so it'd be a bit like a Cluedo episode, I guess.
And then the lights go out.
And in walks, I nearly said Craig David, and that's not what I meant. I meant Daniel Craig.
No. It is Craig David.
The world's greatest detective. Solved a murder on Monday.
He was in court on Tuesday, and in prison on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And then let out. It was a short sentence.
Not enough evidence.
Yeah.
They interrogate the guests. Gav wants to call the police, but MC says no.
Why? To be fair, I guess like the police have been there for a lot of murders, and they'd be like, "Okay, no, this is like the 100th in the last 3 decades. That's enough."
I mean, even since the gang have taken over, didn't the police turn up when like the werewolves had killed the builders and stuff?
Something like.
There's gonna be a point where the police are gonna be like, "Hang on, I know we're not the most competent law enforcers, but
I mean,
a lot
we're
of
not like
murders."
Tokyo level, but
Well, they're all corrupt or officers, so they interrogate the guests. Gav wants to call the police, but MC says no. Gav storms off.
ooh.
I mean, that's coming underlining plot point as well. Is like the tension between Gav and MC about who's the alpha male of the group, you know?
Clearly it's me.
Well, I mean, Gav is the alpha minor.
He's the hardest kid in the school.
And the nakedest.
That's the reason no one wants to fight him. Not because he's naked, it's just he's the weird kind. He's naked and covered in oil all the time.
In his room, Gav finds his former friend, Peter.
Ooh.
Says he needs to talk to Gav.
Is that actually Pete? This is from his
Here's his mentor, right? The guy who taught him.
Did he die though? He died, right?
Yeah, he got. Did
he
he have
got
like
killed
cancer?
by
He got kidnapped by the big old vampire that tormented
Right.
Gav and Louise for a
Right.
bit. And I think it turned out that he had cancer, but like the vampire kept him alive for as long as possible or something, while the disease ate him away. It was something like that.
So do we think that maybe he got vampired?
No, I think it's called Dead Lies, MC.
Ah.
So I wonder if Mrs. Lansbury's like going to show them all like dead people that they had in their life to try and manipulate them and stuff like that. Yeah, so Peter's... Yeah, I think he was the mentor of Gav.
Okay.
Louise leaves the room to find Gav, try and calm him down. Terry and MC talk. Didn't look like anything human could do that. Louise shouldn't go off alone. MC goes after her. Louise is in a garden.
Just a garden.
Meets Jay.
Ooh.
MC meets Tifa in the reception area. Ooh.
I literally forgot about Tifa. I was thinking, like, who would MC meet? Maybe it would be Carol or whatever her name was. But no, Tifa makes a lot more sense.
It does make a lot more sense. It plays into the idea of, you know, MC's rejection of Amy as well.
I was going to say, is Tifa like, so how's Amy? And MC's like, I mean, she was alive the last time I saw her.
Which was
Annoying.
about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
This is how MC's going to figure it out. Because Tifa's going to come across as smart and intelligent. And MC's going to be like, the dead lie. So wait, Louise has gone off to a garden to meet Jay. Is that like a secret rendezvous then?
I'm assuming You meant the garden. I don't know. Is Jay?
It says in a garden.
Yeah.
So Jay's not dead either. So
or a park. I wondered if maybe Jay had come back to the mansion or whatever.
no, because I
Or
think he'd
not
be worried
mansion,
about
not mansion.
No,
fucking hell.
no, well.
Yeah, he flew to Tokyo with the thousands of pounds that he now has.
You mean the Tokyo Memorial Bed and Breakfast
That's
MC?
the one. Thank you.
In my head, it seems like Louisa secretly snuck out to meet Jay in a park.
Okay.
Okay. Peter tells Gav he'll be betrayed by the one he loves. He can't trust them or MC.
He loves MC.
No, he loves Jay, remember? So yeah, this is very much what I assume is Mrs. Lansbury trying to split the gang up.
Yeah.
So kind of, maybe I wonder if, do you think Gav's got any sort of like jealousy behind the friendship between Louise and MC? Because they've known each other for such a long time. They're really close.
Maybe. Or it might just be annoyance because he thinks that MC is a bellend for justified reasons.
Yep.
And, if your girlfriend was like, oh no, he's great, really, when he's not kicking out our friends or ignoring a baby or...
Yeah, that's all Gav's seen as well.
Yeah.
That's all he knows of the man. Brilliant. Jay, in...
Quotation marks, I guess? Yeah.
is ashamed, capitalised for some reason, to see Louise. She tries to reassure him. So, is it not Jay then?
Well, I mean, it's in little quotation marks, so I
Yeah.
assume so.
And he's ashamed. I mean, I guess he would naturally maybe feel guilt for putting her through the coma. Not necessarily that it's not like the gang and Jay himself blames him.
Yeah.
Just
But,
in a-
no, for sure.
He'd feel
yeah,
guilty.
Yeah.
MC can't believe Tifa is here. She's not happy with him.
And he's like, well, you killed my car, so fuck off, you dead bitch.
It doesn't even make him even. It's just like, I don't care if it's our daughter. Nope.
Yeah, she doesn't even have a fucking V8 in her, so I've got no interest.
She doesn't even got any food in her. Gav doesn't understand. Peter says he knows it's true. He's seen MC's influence, but no matter what, she'll side with him.
Ooh.
That is definitely playing off some issues, I guess. Some
Yeah.
worry there that obviously, Gav is madly in love with Louise but doesn't like MC. But maybe, he does think she'd side with him.
Yeah.
Because he's, like you said just a minute ago, like she has been defending him quite a lot.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Louise tries to find out where the disease came from. Jay doesn't know. Gives sob story. What would that be? Is the sob story how the gang have treated him all these years?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
Or is he saying other stuff? Is this Mrs. Lansbury or whatever, like, making up more stuff from Jay?
I don't know. I mean, she can intimidate the intimidate. Well, she does intimidate them, yeah. She can imitate, thank you.
Yeah.
The living, because she pretended, oh no, the lady was dead. So, I don't know. Mrs. Lansbury's powers are very confusing, so...
Whatever is convenient for the plot.
Terry, bored with the guests, suggests Scrabble.
Thank God you included that in the...
Also, I thought that said confronts Amy, but it's comforts.
Talk, you stupid baby.
Comforts Amy. The door is locked. Tifa accuses MC of not caring for Amy.
I don't know why she'd say that.
MC says he tried, just hard without her. Well, it's hard not to be a dickhead. Tifa says, put her up for adoption then. I mean...
MC's like, I tried.
MC says every time he sees Amy, he thinks of Tifa. So maybe we're going to get more into the root then of MC's hatred for his own daughter then. Because we kind of, was like, oh, it's because he misses Tifa and he's having a hard time with it.
Yeah.
But then it went a bit too far and we're like...
I mean, we did say... It said in the text before that, Amy does remind MC of Tifa, and he sort of... Because Tifa had to die for Amy to be born, he kind of resents... He blames Amy on some level for that.
And that makes sense. I think it's just been hammered home.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's like having the smallest nail and then you just get like a fucking mechanic
Sledgehammer, yeah.
Peter says MC and Louise will turn on Gav. Jay says Gav and MC were mean to him.
I mean...
All true?
Yeah.
Tifa says he's losing touch with reality. People will turn on him. MC picks up sword and kills Tifa.
Ooh.
She, Peter and Jay all disappear.
Well, I mean, he would know that it's not Tifa because, like, he saw her in heaven as an angel. So he would know that something fucky is going on.
I mean, she could have come back as a ghost, though.
Yeah, do you remember when he snapped some guy's neck because he was pretty sure he was some sort of demon? 60%. OC's a gambler at heart when it comes to murder.
So has he stabbed a ghost with a sword?
Yep.
Yeah. And maybe, he figured Tifa would be supportive or at least a bit more understanding.
From the sound of it, Tifa is sort of attacking him right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And Tifa isn't very good at, well, a lot of things, but she's not very
colouring
aggressive.
in. She always goes out the lines.
Just holds a crayon in a fist and just scrawls all over the page.
Maybe there was going to be a piece of dialogue where she let something slip. And then it was like, MC's like, oh, it's definitely not her, you know. MC lets people in the living room go, and the gang all return. MC explains what he saw. Gav questions if it was a ghost or real. They all argue and leave.
Ooh.
There's I can't remember if it was an episode of Buffy or Angel now.
Yeah.
But there was something similar to this premise, I think.
Really?
Yeah, weirdly. And I think it's like, there's a bunch of like lying ghosts all lying to them, but one of them turns out to be real. Like he's an actual ghost of the actual person.
Right.
I think it's Buffy, maybe something to do with the first. And I'm sad now that I can't remember that.
This is unprecedented.
Yeah, this is really
you.
upsetting me. But I feel like there's something like that. And so maybe there's the chance that Peter was real.
Oh, okay, sure.
And maybe just playing off that idea. At least maybe Gav believes he might be real.
Yeah.
MC tells Terry he knew it wasn't Tifa. She'd never give up on him. Well, you kind of hate her daughter, so... Terry suggests he really looks at his daughter.
MC's like, who? Oh, yeah. I remember.
Look, she's crying. She's very thin.
Yeah, kind of ugly to look at, all scrunched up crying face. Don't want to see that. Just put her in a cupboard, that's what I do.
And that's the end of Dead Lies. An episode where we just seem to reiterate a lot of the things. It's almost like, here's all the things that have happened so far in this season, condensed into one episode. We haven't really moved on, apart from the fact the gang are a bit more fractured now.
I mean, I guess this is, because there's been so many distractions with, like, Louise being in her weird disease coma and all the other stuff. Like, these things have kind of been ongoing, like the distrust between Gav and MC, the MC being Father of the Year, Jay as well. Maybe this is the beginning of the resolution of some of these things. They're sort of turning up the heat to really bring it to a boil. Yeah,
exactly, yeah. Because we're getting so close towards the end of the season as well.
Yeah.
So I guess it would make sense to kind of ramp up all these things.
Yeah.
Well, let's move into the next episode, MC, which is entitled Happy Ending? Question mark?
Oh, no.
What a subtle title that is, MC. I'm sure everything will be fine at the end of this episode. MC watches Amy in the B&B. Louise comes over and they talk about slow business from afar.
What?
They talk about slow business from afar.
Like,
What?
From...
So is the business far away?
Or are they far away from each other, like other ends of the corridor, and just yelling at each other?
I don't know. That's really weird blocking.
Yeah. Don't know.
Okay. Lead furnace. They're quite jaded until one moment they laugh when Gav walks in.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
He sees them being all chummy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they're plotting my betrayal.
I'm not surprised they're jaded, first and foremost.
Yeah.
I mean, Louise has just come out of a disease coma, and everyone's hating each other.
Yeah.
And, MC is a bellend.
Yeah.
But the one moment where they share a laugh, and he walks Gav, classic TV.
Good thing they don't, like, kiss or something. Like, they accidentally trip and fall into each other's mouths first, and then Gav comes in. Then Ross and Rachel never get together.
Terry gets a visit from a health inspector.
We've been receiving reports of a demon selling dick pills in your basement.
I think you'll violate that. I find that violates Act 1.4 of your license. Nice, bring it back to the dick pill selling demon. Nice.
Thank you.
I think we got too bogged down with the chokewag demon.
I know. I mean, it's such a
They
neat.
should team up. New spin-off. Jay, drinking, is visited by his father at his home. Yeah, apart from the fake Jay, we didn't have an actual check-in with Jay last episode, did we? Jay is reeling from what he thought MC said to him. His dad wants an answer.
So, presume from what he thought MC said, did Jay get a visit from Ghost MC?
Yeah, that's how it reads, but that didn't seem to be in the notes.
Yeah.
Maybe that was like a thing I just tacked on at the end or something.
Yeah, but I mean, did Jay get visited by evil Ghost MC in his apartment? Like, not in the bed and breakfast?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I tell you what, maybe. Again, I don't know if I'm making this up or if I just remember it.
Yeah.
But maybe Jay went to the B&B to try and reconcile with them.
Yeah, maybe.
And fake dead evil MC appeared outside.
It would make sense in that Jay had this whole confrontation with his dad.
Yes.
And then I imagine it would make sense if he did go to see the gang.
Yeah, and checking with Louise. Because wasn't there a bit in the last episode we actually recorded where he realised he hadn't really thought of Louise or anything like that.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe he went to check in or something.
Yeah.
His dad wants an answer. Oh no, Jay, don't do all the known crime. Louise is clearing Jay's things up in his room. Gav joins her, saying she doesn't have to agree with MC. It's really got to Gav, hasn't it?
Yeah, man.
It's because he's, as a teenager, he's not emotionally mature enough to kind of deal with these things.
Yeah.
MC takes Amy for a walk to the duck pond. He doesn't know how to decide between a daughter and the mission.
What is the mission?
Well, his mission is kind of be a world-saving supernatural threat fighting
makes sense.
ninja, isn't it?
Sure.
So, yeah. And that is a difficult thing to juggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lucky he's had Louise, really. Jay turns up at Terry's pub and demands a drink. Oh, is he drunk or?
He did say, but it said earlier about how he's drinking. Get visited by his dad.
Yeah, okay. Terry thinks he's had too many already. Jay tears up the place.
Does he?
What? Oh no, what? I'm pretty sure Terry's got like a bat under the bar. He could probably stop him, right? Is the health inspector still there? Terry phones someone. It's like, oh yeah, there's some geezer here tearing up my pub. I don't know what's going on. The health inspector's here. They've got all the dick pills out the basement. Tannis returning. Interrupting a fight between a vampire and a werewolf.
Why?
Well,
hey, this is vampire turf. Fuck off. This is werewolf territory.
Yeah, why? I mean, maybe it's a bit like Twilight at this point,
Yeah.
He recruits them, says some of his plan is on its way. Some of his plan is on its way.
Cool.
Has he recruited like a load of demons or something? How did he recruit them, though? Like, they're in a dust-up and he's like, maybe you should join me. I'll teach you all I ever know about gardening. MC comes home. He and Gav speak. They see a zombie outside and go and take care of it. More turn up. It's like more people are going to die, more bodies, get on the phone to the morgue, don't tell the police, burn him in the oven, bury them in the garden, blow them out of a room in the B&B, whatever. What are these things? They wonder if it's the ghost again. So
Do they know there's a ghost? Or they mean the ghost from previous episodes?
Yeah, I guess they must know that some weird thing happened where a load of ghosts turned up or
They know
something.
ghosts are involved somehow.
I guess. Again, it might be one of those things that I explored more in the dialogue rather than just writing the
sure.
bullet points. But yeah, because they're supernatural detectives. They know a bit about what's going on in the world. They must have realised, dead people and someone who was alive visited us.
Ghosts.
Ooh.
Yeah. Makes as much sense as anything else.
Lead furnace. You know how in Citizen Kane there's the whole thing around Rosebud?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like our thing is going to be lead furnace. When the last one of us to die is just going to whisper, lead furnace on our deathbeds.
It's going to go so stupid. Or it will be like our sleeper agent trigger phrase. We'll just be going on the bus or something. Somebody will whisper lead furnace and we'll go on a rampage and kill everyone there.
Louise turns up at the pub and talks to Jay. Is he still destroying the pub? Is he just very slow? He's just like flipping some beer mats over.
He's tired out now. He's having a bit of a sit down in between.
Jerry's still on the phone. He sounds like he did in her vision. Okay, so she had a vision of Jay, which I guess is the ghost, but not ghost. So maybe they weren't ghosts, they were visions? Am I just mixing up terminology?
I don't know. This is dumb. I hope it makes more sense. That was a. You'd think I'd learn after however many years. That was a naive hope, wasn't it?
I think we said this when we were doing it with Chip as well. It's like it's easier for me to expand my dumb ideas when I'm writing an episode.
Yeah.
But when it's just bullet pointed and I've got most of it in my head at the time, it's more confusing. Yeah. Just be thankful the one with the lead furnace was an actual episode. I didn't just write it in the notes and leave it at that.
Episode 12, Lead Furnace. Intro, there's a furnace. It's made of lead. The end.
It's held by a demon named after some old biscuits. Alarm goes off with Terry. Protection spell is breached. Ooh. Of course, he would have one on his pub as well.
Yeah,
in case of health inspectors. Zombie getting close to Amy. MC kills it. He and Gav have had to retreat. Zombies closing in. Werewolves suddenly smash in. They run for the kitchen, wondering about the spell. So their protection spell was not working then.
Yeah.
And we know Mrs. Lansbury has been able to bring it down before.
Yeah.
But then was stopped by Amy.
Yeah.
And then Mrs. Lansbury came back and then was stopped by Amy. And then Mrs. Lansbury came back. So is she just getting more powerful each time she disappears? Or
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it's something to do with Tanis.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because he's a witch doctor gardener.
Exactly. He'll know what to do. Terry's Louise burst in.
Terry and Louise?
Is that an and?
It doesn't. It looks like an S, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming you mean and.
Okay. Terry and Louise burst in. Terry saves them, throwing them out and boarding up the windows. He is drained. Wait, have they come back to the B&B?
I guess the alarm went off with Terry, the protection spell for the B&B, I guess.
Oh.
Rather than the protection spell for his pub.
Okay, so why is it hooked up to Terry's then?
Because he cast it?
And he knows to help the gang if they're in trouble?
I guess maybe he's able to tell if one of his spells is broken.
Okay.
And he's like, quick, to the B&B.
Not bad for a part-time wizard. Yeah. And did they just leave drunk Angry Jay in the pub?
Sure.
MC is protecting Amy lots.
Cool.
That's progress, that's progression, growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he's just doing it out of that obligatory kind of, I have to do this. Like he's been doing before. Like, what was the name of those weird demons that tried to steal Amy?
Oh, I can't even remember.
Yeah, but he was all sort of like, I'm going to stop you because I have to, even though I don't love her. Vampires try to get in. They do. Vicious battle! Vamps, zombies, and werewolves get in each other's way. There's one vampire left, just about to kill Gav, when Tanis steps in from the outside. Gang don't see him. Oh, I feel like that's less dramatic then. So Tanis has built an army of vampires, werewolves, and zombies, to go after the gang. Which is quite nice, all the classic monsters and things they fought in the past.
Yeah. Well, it's a very classic Tomuarigassen thing, isn't it? Like the amount of armies of vampires or zombies or werewolves or some combination has attacked them at their home and then they've killed them all.
And again, the B&B is getting attacked. It's just the Mansion 2.0, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Jay has had enough of drinking. Okay, so is he like getting back? Is he like, I'm going to go and sort this all out now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, why am I in a very minutely destroyed pub? Why is there someone with a clipboard here?
Why's my pockets filled with dick pills? Haven't seen that estate agent in weeks.
Gang come back together. Okay, how? Is it like because they fought off this massive threat to their home? They all kind of reconcile there.
But then we don't know what's happening with Tanis.
Well, the last line.
Yeah.
Tanis is revealed.
Ooh.
Again, to the gang?
Yeah.
So in my head, this plays out like they defeat this massive army of werewolves, vampires, and zombies, and then they're like, hey, we should be friends again.
But there's still one vampire left that's about to kill Gav, then Tanis steps in.
Does
So-
Tanis stop the vampire from feeding on Gav?
But
But why would he do that?
yeah. Unless
And then
it's-
why has he waited for his army to be completely killed?
Maybe
And then he's like, hello.
is this his big dramatic reveal when he's like, aha, I will get you next time, or it's like a warm up. It's like a warning. It's like a warning. It's like, yes, I knew that wouldn't kill you. I just
Is it like when Harato phoned the gang to say, hey, at 11:02,
Yeah.
we're going to be there to kill you all? It feels very much like that. It's like an old template of Tomuarigassen. It's like, okay, right, because Jack did it as well.
Yeah.
Didn't he attack with like an army of the undead, like zombies and
Twice?
vampires? Yeah.
I've lost count.
I'm
Maybe.
surprised Chip didn't. Chip had some vampires working for him at one point.
I think he
Steph and
did.
Scoot. And
Yeah.
So in every season, the bad guy has to get an army of the undead to attack wherever they're living at that
Completely
time.
ineffective.
And that's the end of that episode.
Okay.
Really confusing ending. There's not a lot of detail in this.
Both of these were very confusing.
Yeah. Let's hope the last episode clears things up a bit.
Optimistic.
So here we go, MC. The final episode of season 4 of Tomuarigassen. Good night.
Oh my god, what's going to happen, man?
don't know.
What's going to fucking happen?
Let's find out.
It's the last one.
Opens with Jay staggering back home, drunk. He misses Tokyo and old life. Says he's got to make things right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like a happy ending for Jay, please. That would be nice.
don't care about anyone else.
Nope.
Jay adopts Amy and lives with Terry.
Oh, that'd be really nice. Fight in the B&B between gang and vamp werewolf zombie army. Gav is about to get bitten, but Tanis dusts it.
Okay, so this is the end of... You must have messed things around a bit in terms of the order.
Yeah.
And took the end of the previous episode and put it on the beginning of this one.
Or maybe vice versa, I took the beginning of this and put it in the end
Yeah, maybe.
afterwards. But there's definitely some crossover there. But yeah, we were right about it's Tanis that stops that vampire
For some reason. Yeah.
MC protects Amy, yep. Mm-hmm. Gang comes back together after MC and Gav fall out. So do they have another argument?
Yeah.
But then they somehow fix that.
Yeah. I don't... No.
Okay, so they have it out, they talk, and they realise that they are both alpha males, despite one of them only being half the other one's age. And they're like, you know what? Let's just respect the chain of commands. We're friends. MC's like, I'll be less of a dick. Gav is like, yeah, I'll wear more clothes around the house. And they sort things out.
That must be... Yeah, you must be referring to the MC and Gav falling out in the previous episodes,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, because they did have an argument and stuff like that as well.
There's always been that tension. Then there was the ghost trying to split a wedge between them, drive a wedge between them. Then after the fight, that's enough to bring them all together and realise that they have so much in common and they have a common enemy.
And they do the handshake from Predator and everything's okay.
Yes.
MC helps a knackered Terry home. Oh, Terry did a big spell, didn't he?
He was
exhausted.
drained, yeah.
Just, you've got loads of beds in your house. Just put them in there. I feel like you've just been
I
attacked
wouldn't
by a
fucking
massive
stand
army.
that.
Yeah, it's probably safer. Terry's safer on his own whilst I'm able to move. Jay trying to get sober, has a shower, etc. Sleeps it off. And that's Jay done for the episode.
And that's the end of Tomuarigassen.
Tanis propositions Mrs. Lansbury.
I don't think you mean it in that way.
Don't think so
But I could be wrong.
But that's what I've written.
Yeah.
Does the gardener witch doctor want to shag the old ghost? New spin-off!
It's a sex comedy. Some carry-on style.
Oh, dear. So we're going to get a team up between Tanis and Mrs. Lansbury.
I guess it was
then.
not inevitable, but it makes sense because other villain, Grant Maloney, he's gone now, right?
Yes, he would have been sort of fighting Chip around this time, but...
So, yeah, but he can't do any stuff. So, like, Mrs. Lansbury has been a villain for a long time. Tanis is a remnant of the Violet Spectacle, whatever the name was.
December
Form.
But that is a better name.
Violet Spectacle.
Season 5. So they're finally come together in the final episode.
And they've both tried. I mean, I guess maybe what you intended is, Mrs. Lansbury threw everything she has with the ghostly visions and everything. Tanis throws his army at them. Neither of them succeed.
Yeah.
They realise, they have to work together.
Yeah, it's coming together sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, isn't it nice there? Everyone's making friends.
And then they have sex. MC and Terry talk on the way home. Terry admits he has kids.
Ooh.
2 boys he never sees. Aw, Terry! Aw. Tells MC to make the most of Amy, because you never know what you've got until it's gone. Oh, that's so heartbreaking and lovely.
Aw,
but why doesn't
Terry.
he see him? Did he beat them or something? Or
No, not Terry.
oh, but
There was a messy divorce and he didn't get custody.
oh, now his wife lives in Chester.
Yeah. So long as it's not the place where the terrorists come from.
Ipswich.
Ipswich, yeah.
Louise and Gav have lots of sex.
Here you are talking about your friends having sex again. Classic.
I like to think that just next to them is Tanis and Mrs. Lansbury. Louise and Gav have lots of sex, talk about feelings. What, during? When she's in the bathroom, Gav looks at a ring.
Oh, I was going to pop the question.
To Jay. It's a goodbye shag to Louise.
We got to wait till I'm 18, but...
Oh, she's going to go to prison. MC goes to bed. Sorry, I thought that was an exclamation mark afterwards. It was like, MC goes to bed.
Gav? It's Gav narrating this one.
MC goes to bed, gets Amy out of her cot, and lays in bed with her.
Oh,
A bit of connection.
Bonding, yeah.
God, this is going to end terribly. Next day, Terry awakes and discovers his pub has been closed down.
Oh no!
First the Suns, and now the pub.
This is the real casualty. This is a real disaster. This is the bad ending.
Do you think I realised that keep calling him the pub landlord wizard was really dumb? So I've got to get rid of one of them. What's going to be more convenient for the supernatural series? Jay wakes up and proclaims, "It's a new day." Jay gets a letter/phone call with info. He goes to warn someone. Oh, he knows about Tanis. What?
Huh? Okay, so he gets a phone call from someone telling him about Tanis, probably.
And he goes to warn someone. Is he going to warn the gang?
Presumably. Is it Jay's dad telling him?
Or maybe Jay's... Because Jay's dad obviously knows a lot more than he's letting on.
Yeah.
So maybe he knows about Tanis in the December form, and he's through like a third party making Jay aware of what's happening, but for what end game I don't know.
Yeah.
This is very confusing.
Yeah.
I like to think it would make more sense in the actual written up episode, but
It would.
to a certain extent.
Yeah.
It would be more explained,
Yeah.
but still wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Gav practicing proposing when MC walks in, but doesn't notice. Too busy getting Amy ready. They both agree it's good to have someone. Well, MC has changed his fucking tune, hasn't he? Here, like he's just suddenly in love with Amy. Maybe seeing Tifa again kind of reminded him that he does need to treat Amy better.
And the conversation with Terry too.
Yeah, and like maybe another near-death experience, and he's like, hang on. MC says they're going to see Mummy.
What?
The Mummy returns?
Why? Who?
I'm guessing they're going to go visit Tifa's grave.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Louise enters after MC is gone. They share feelings again. Gav laughs at bad ghost Peter and goes to propose when Terry enters. Oh, okay, so Gav is now thinking that the ghost of Peter was actually like a figment of the visions or whatever they were having.
Sure.
And Terry has interrupted the proposal.
Okay.
So now we're getting comedy bits.
Yeah.
With Gav trying to propose. MC at the gravesite. Rewrite previous visit to Tifa's grave. What? What previous visit?
When? Maybe, like...
He did go and visit Tifa's grave earlier in the season.
Do you mean to just copy and paste it?
Maybe I wanted to change some of the wording as a sort of leading up to whatever has happened in here.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What's next?
So I really must have planned ahead then. If I'm rewriting something that happened earlier in the season, I must have planned out the entire season and then gone and written the episodes after.
I don't know, Chip. I don't know.
Why don't you know? Tell me! Suddenly, scene changes and grave has been defaced.
Ooh.
MC dares them to show their faces. Tanis reveals himself. Brief fight. Amy gets involved.
Punches him.
She's all like, "Oh, you're going to start on my dad, come on, I'll have you." Tanis eventually kidnaps her. Oh my god. No, Jay tells him. Oh, sorry, there's a line crossed out here, which is telling MC to confront him somewhere. But, like, no, don't do that. Jay tells him.
So I guess, like, as the next bullet point, Jay, or does he do? I don't know.
So-
no, later on it tells MC where Tannis is. So I think it is just Amy gets involved. Tannis eventually kidnaps her.
Right, and that's the end of it. And then that little note is for later in the episode.
So I guess what's happening here is is it almost like the way I see it, MC goes to the gravesite and is almost in like a little daydream remembering thing about what happened before, and then he sees reality, or Tannis has some sort of like illusion spell. So it's like MC is going to the gravesite, and it seems like it's just a repeat of the previous visit to Tifa's grave, and then the spell or whatever is revealed, and then it's like the grave is defaced and Tannis is there mocking him. Something, I don't know.
Sure, we'll go with that. It's better than anything that's here. So Terry moping in the B&B. Gav trying to get rid of him. He eventually decides to go. MC bumps into him on the way out and drags him back and inside, interrupting Gav proposing again. So there is a real sort of comedy moment around this.
It really is.
It's nice of MC to drag someone back into the B&B rather than out of it.
Yes, yeah.
MC explains all. Tells the gang he has to do this himself, find his daughter, who he loves,
Now, apparently.
and kill Tannis. It's raining now.
In brackets.
Why is that important?
I guess you wanted to have like a dramatic scene.
I guess so, yeah.
But that whole like, no, I've got to do it for myself thing. It's,
Jay enters to tell the gang what he knows. So in a way, this is almost Jay's way of redemption, in a sense, of the, oh look, I'm sorry what happened to Louise, but I can help save Amy.
Sure.
I know where Tannis is and where you meet him and stuff.
And then MC is like, you're Tannis, aren't you?
On the way out, Jay, in quotation marks again, Jay tells MC where Tannis is. He got the info from his dad. See, now I'm just more confused because
it's more confusing because you've got like arrows and there's sort of sentences and arrows pointing like, oh, this should be here and that there. So it almost reads like Ghost Jay, because of Jay in brackets, tells MC where Tannis is, and then Jay comes in afterwards, like real Jay comes in to say what happened. But I don't know.
it's really confusing. But at least we know MC knows where to find Tannis, and there's going to be some sort of showdown.
Sure.
And there's two Jays.
Maybe.
Terry's sad about his pub and his dead sons, and Gav is trying to propose to a lady far too old for him. That's where we are right now, okay?
Okay, cool.
Nearly over, MC, nearly over.
It's more painful than spending time with my daughter.
No, you love her now. Something happened and now you love her.
That's the most unrealistic part of the whole thing.
Oh, good. More arrows and things crossed out. Tannis in underground hideout of things. Abandoned streets where King's Crown used to be. Oh my god. What?
Okay, so you've got the you've crossed some stuff out and there's some more arrows, which is great.
Okay.
Tannis in underground hideout of things that tried to kill Amy before under Hyde Park.
Okay, that actually makes sense. Why is that
that's one
crossed out?
thing.
Because that helps us.
But then instead you've got, instead of that tried to kill Amy before under Hyde Park, you've got abandoned streets where King's Crown used to be. That was...
But what?
Are you trying to say that there's an underground hideout under the King's Crown pub?
But it says where the pub used to be.
Unless the health inspectors work really fast and have already demolished the entire building.
That is entirely plausible as well.
Yeah. Don't know.
He talks to Amy. MC shows up. Tannis offers MC a deal. If he beats him, MC gets Amy back. Only he's not facing Tannis. He raises and possesses several former Ku Klux ninja spirits. Makes a reference to learning more about possession.
From Mrs. Lansbury.
MC agrees and attacks.
Ooh, that's... Okay, that's an interesting thing. Like the showdown with the ninjas.
Yeah.
Because there hasn't... I mean, well, since Jack and Lee, the MC hasn't fought other ninjas. It's always been...
He fought the elders of the Ku Klux.
That's true.
But I guess that would be slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess these are just former ninjas. I don't really know how Tannis has the ability to do that, but then it's just mystical magic.
Because he has sex with a ghost.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
That's how you learn it.
Yeah, so you have sex with a ghost and you learn how to possess people.
Yeah.
Right. Cool, because there's a lot of raising of ghosts and stuff like that here that aren't really ghosts or just visions or.
I don't know.
And the thing is, it's like he makes MC a deal. Like if MC wins, he gets Amy back. But that's what MC has gone to do there anyway.
I guess maybe it would be implied or something that Tanis is like holding a gun or a spell or a knife or a something to Amy.
So he's like, if you actually beat me, you'll get her back. No, like you have to do this fight.
No hijinks.
Yeah.
No
I feel like MC could have negotiated. He could have got a couple of curly whirlies out of this or something. Jay, again in quotation marks, is at the front door of the B&B, explains all to Louise and gang, says he has something to do and leaves. So do we ignore the previous 2 notes that say Jay has already shown up and told them?
I don't know.
Okay. Louise picks up a package from New York.
Oh,
it's the cure.
Oh,
for the plague, for the disease.
Nice thought. Is it? Do you think it's actually going to be useful?
I don't know. I don't know if it was just a way of sort of tying in the 2 shows or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Jay, in quotation marks, skulks around the back. It's Mrs. Lansbury.
Who would have thought?
MC fights ninjas, celebrates with Amy.
I guess he wins.
Yeah, I guess he does, yeah. Tanis snatches her and breaks her neck.
Oh no.
No!
Oh no, just as MC actually loves his daughter now.
Oh no! The season ends with a dead baby! Oh my god!
Do you think she's dead? Or like is a weird angel heritage going to come into this?
Maybe. I mean, if we just take it at face value for now, I really wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Like, Tanis has snapped the neck of a baby. And that's even more heartbreaking because obviously we've really drummed home the fact that MC is struggling.
Yeah.
And then finally, in one episode, he's like, nah, I love her, really. And then it's like, Tanis is like, fuck, man.
Damn.
That's quite brutal.
That is.
I don't think there was any baby deaths in Buffy or Angel.
Yeah, because Joss Whedon is a coward.
Louise reveals little about the package. Terry falls over ill. He knows Amy is dead.
Oh, wow, okay.
How? Does it send some sort of mystical ripples through the universe?
Sure.
I guess that would happen when you kill an angel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, go with that. Yeah. Jay shows up at his dad's work. Begins his job.
Ooh.
Information about Kuklaw, ?
Is that Jay or is it Jay?
No, I think this is actual Jay.
Ooh.
Because you think about it, everything before this was Jay like, right, I'm going to get sober, I'm going to start a new day, fresh.
Sure.
And then after that, I think everything has been Jay.
Yeah.
Mrs. Lansbury.
Yeah.
And now Jay has suddenly returned to his dad's side.
Ooh, maybe.
They want information about the Kuklaw.
Are they asking him for information about the Kuklaw, or is he getting information about the Kuklaw from his dad's job?
Both? I don't know. MC mourns. And that's it. That is how the season ends.
Fucking hell, what an ending.
So we kind of said that this season had been really drab and down and dark in the sense of like everyone's just kind of miserable the entire time, right?
Yeah.
We have a very brief moment where, Gav is like, everything seems to be okay. I'm going to propose to the woman I love.
Sure.
MC loves his baby. And then the baby dies. I wonder if the reason I went for this incredibly dark ending is because obviously,
You hated the series.
Well, we've established before that I was quite done with it at this point. But I wonder if like the whole kind of writing about having to have a baby in the series was a bit tricky. Or, it would be the same things over and over again about having to get babysitters or having someone stay with the baby or whatever.
So easy to just kill it, really.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do the route of what they do in Angel, which was like, Carter becomes a grown man at some point because he's kidnapped, blah, blah, blah. So I was just like, kill it.
It brings to mind the sort of difference between writers who plan everything out and writers who sort of wing it as they go.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if it was planned out, there's so much going on in Amy's history, in terms of there's stuff about her being like the first of angels being sort of brought back into the world, and all this stuff. So to just kill her, just kills that entire plot line, that entire like setup for like its own series, really.
Yeah. And I do wonder if it was like an idea I had. I was like, oh yeah, they should have a baby. To be like, the baby's not really working.
Babies are shit.
Yeah.
Just MC hating a baby. I'm bored of it.
Is this the first time we've ended with the villains winning? Because it doesn't say anything about Tannis dying.
It really does.
And Mrs. Lansbury's still knocking around as Jay.
Listen under other pages, are there?
I don't think so. Nope. That's it.
It really doesn't. Okay, it feels like the end of a series, like, but not the end of the show.
Well, it's not the end of the show.
Yeah.
I had another season in mind, which we'll get to when we look at those notes.
Yeah.
But it's, maybe MC went a bit mad and killed Tannis after that, but it doesn't say if Tannis got away or if MC killed him.
It doesn't.
It says,
I guess
MC fights the ninjas, so the raised ninjas of the Ku Claw that he has to fight, and he celebrates with Amy, but Tannis snatches her and breaks her neck.
I guess
and that's it.
I suspect what would happen is, like, the camera zooms in on MC cradling
a
Amy.
dead baby.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then we don't even see what happens to Tannis because he's just so fixated on Amy.
Yeah.
He doesn't even notice. Like the rest of the world has just ceased to exist.
And Mrs. Lansbury's still knocking around as well. And they don't even know about Mrs. Lansbury.
Yeah, man.
What? It's weird, but kind of interesting, but kind of weird. Like, I don't know how I feel about it, because obviously Chip felt a bit more kind of planned out, and I guess that was easier in a way because it's like, right, new season, establish new characters, have some one-off episodes, build those relationships, and then it came quite late in the day, but still you have that end of season kind of arc where here's the bad guy. We learn more about Kat and stuff like that, and then that has a cliffhanger ending with Chip being shot and being taken away by the police. This though is really out there. How is MC going to react to this?
Healthily. Getting support from his friends and his loved ones.
Man, I wasn't expecting it to be that dark.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been surprised when it said that Tannis kidnapped Amy. I was kind of like, that makes sense. I could see that. Maybe if the season ended like that, with the baby being snatched.
Yeah.
But having a tiny neck broken. I mean, what do you think of the season overall?
Yeah, man, it was confusing. Tannis as a villain appears in literally the last episode. Was he? I can't even fucking remember. Was it the previous season with the December?
No, it was about halfway through this one.
Right. Okay.
Because that's what he was saying. Is like it kind of felt like an end of season episode.
Yeah.
With the December form being beaten, and then obviously he jumps into a portal.
Yeah.
And it's just not heard of until the second to last episode.
Yeah. Like I feel a bit of foreshadowing would have gone down well.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know about how I feel about Mrs. Lansbury. She seems to just be sort of doing evil stuff.
It's like a weird anomaly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's that kind of thing where it's like, it's kind of an interesting idea to have this kind of antagonist that they don't even know about, aren't really aware of.
Yeah.
And because of that, Mrs. Lansbury's helped in their downfall.
And it's interesting as well to have Mrs. Lansbury and Tannis working together after their night of passion. Because they sort of... There's two separate kind of types of threat there. There's Tannis, who is the physical threat with his, vampire and werewolf army and like magic and stuff. And there's Mrs. Lansbury is more psychological.
Yeah, so attacking the gang from two fronts in a way. Yeah.
So it's sort of. I guess in the next season they would have been the villains, right? Like that was what the
if
thing
Tannis
would
is
be.
still alive, then
Yeah.
Again, which is kind of an interesting way of doing it as a continuation.
Yeah.
And going back to saying what I was saying about the format as well, where obviously this is quite different to the first season of Chip, but then we've got 3 seasons of Tomuarigassen preceding this.
Yeah.
So maybe I just wanted to try something different.
It's the Empire Strikes Back of the thing.
Let's not go there. Jesus Christ. Let's not have that comparison, MC. I'm not comfortable with that. All right. It sets up some interesting things for what would be the last season. In terms of, Terry's lost his pub, MC's lost his baby, Jay's back with his dad, so has Jay gone evil?
Yeah, I reckon. I mean, I just can't see Jay being consistently evil. I think he'll come to his senses, have a, conscience and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Do you know what I think is the most unsatisfying thing about the season? Is I think it's been a season of many, many questions.
Yeah.
And not too many answers.
Yes.
There's been a lot of like, what is going to happen? And then you get to the end of season where you're like, oh, okay, so Tannis has returned and suddenly he's going to be the big bad. He's just stepped out of the shadows with an army and he's doing this, which feels a bit sudden. But then because the gang don't win, because it's kind of left on not necessarily a cliffhanger, but in a very sort of weird kind of ending.
Down note, like real minor note. Yeah.
I think that just kind of feels unsatisfying in terms of like, obviously this is a piece of shit and we don't really care about it. But like, if we go in with the story of it, it's not very satisfying.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a shame in a way that we had to kind of almost end this podcast with that season.
Yeah.
Maybe hopefully it'll be a bit brighter with the notes from the next seasons that we're going to go through at some point.
As long as there aren't any lead furnaces, that's just all I ask.
Well, if you'd like to let us know your thoughts on this season and how bad and unsatisfied it was, did you know there's numerous ways in which you can get in touch? You can find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/howiRippedOffPodcast.
And we're also on Twitter at HowIRippedOff.
And you can find our entire back catalogue on SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
And if you want to tell us about your estranged family or...
Tell us about the pub that closed down that you own.
If you can provide any sort of light on all the many questions we have, just make it up. Just make it up and leave us a review. It'd be very nice. And yeah. We've been doing this a long time. And review us, please. Go on.
It's the last episode.
Please.
It's fine.
Otherwise, Mrs. Lansbury will appear and have sex with you.